could go that way, though.
Yeah, if the wind get rough.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I thought they had gone over to Pasadena and out into the Valley way.
Separate fire. But they're getting a handle on that.
On those?
The Altadena fire.
Oh, okay. Why can't they get a handle on the one up there where it started?
Because all the things that you would have needed to do preemptively were not done. So now it's a perfect storm.
You drunk? No. So what now?
It's just that there was some things that led up to it. For the last, I don't know how long we've had morons in charge, and they haven't been doing what they normally did. There was a bunch of preemptive, you're gonna have to pay the price.
I can imagine those people that live up there are pretty disappointed
Well,
because it was their politicians that didn't do
80%
it.
of them voted for all these people in charge.
Right.
So, but they're still not gonna wake up.
You think?
No.
They probably won't. I know.
Maybe like a small percentage.
About 30 seconds, Jesse.
Okay. I noticed that pain don't wake up a lot of people. The mayor. Oh, James, I was doing it this way. You like, when you go out there and you start coughing, will you just do this? Good morning. Welcome to the fellowship. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and he will pass on your questions and comments to me. Happy New Year. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
How's everybody?
Good.
Excited, right? No. Nice. Any questions or comments? Oh, nice. Let me go here first, and then, yes.
You guys were just having a conversation, and you made a comment. I noticed that pain doesn't wake very many people up.
Right.
What does wake people up?
It wake up a few people. Those that they keep repeating the same thing over and over again. Finally wonder what is wrong. Excuse me. What is wrong with me? Those are the ones that wake up. But most people they'll feel the pain, they'll cry about the pain, and they'll fight over the pain, and then if the pain subsides for a minute, they go right back to the same thing. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I have, but
Just pain, but what?
I guess I'm just trying to. I don't know. I would love to know what wakes people up and make
What woke you up?
Make more of that.
Did you wake up?
I think I am. Yeah.
And what woke you up?
I don't think anything I did woke me up because I had been trying for many, many years in vain.
And were you having pain?
Oh yeah.
And did the pain
Good
have
times,
anything,
bad times, and everything in between,
and did the pain have anything to do to you wanting to wake up?
I think I always wanted to find the truth, but never found it. I don't think the pain necessarily led me there,
Oh,
but I'm not sure what did.
I know the pain woke me up in my life because I was like weak, and I used to cry, and I used to be afraid, and I was going to church and it wasn't working, and I wanted it because I read in the Bible that you can have it, you can be free. It said you're supposed to be, you can have perfect peace, and I kept wondering, okay, if there's a God and I can have perfect peace, that's what I want. Because there's other way it's not giving me perfect peace. And the pain definitely woke me up. It made me cry for help. Well, your pain didn't make you cry for help?
For sure it did. For sure it did. I think
I'm
maybe,
just trying to understand if it didn't, what was it for? Maybe for other people, it takes something else.
yeah, I think I eventually, I mean, for sure it happened in a period of pain and more pain than I had ever experienced. So maybe in a way it did, but it felt like what allowed me to start waking up is I had exhausted all my options, all of my ideas, all of my,
Right.
and I finally just admitted to myself that I had no idea how to help myself or fix myself.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, I know it was the pain. That made me cry out for help. Yes, sir.
I want to see if I can tie my question into this because this is so good. But my original question was going to be: is prosperity and success a bad thing?
What?
Is prosperity and success a bad thing?
It's neither bad nor good.
Right. Because, well, I'll connect it to this concept of pain.
Okay.
Whenever I was in pain, this is personally.
Before you tell me that part, what is prosperity?
Well, I guess it could be measured by comfort and, you don't struggle as much, when you're broke.
Oh, okay. Like you live up there in the hills and your house get burned down.
Yeah, for example, you get a house in the Palisades.
Your prosperity get burned down.
But some of those people are going to be all right.
And so what is success?
I guess it could
In
be.
your mind.
In my mind, okay. Well,
Is success different from prosperity, right?
I think prosperity usually follows success.
Oh.
They're linked.
And what is success?
To get to a point in your life where you actually enjoy what you're doing and you look forward to your day.
Oh, okay. All right. So in your mind, your question at all, go ahead.
But the pain always brings, it did in my case, it brings you closer to God because it's the only person in a lot of cases that can help you. Most people feel that way. I definitely felt that way. So, but when you're successful and prosperous, sometimes you forget about God because you got everything.
You have everything.
Or at least you think you do.
But the people that have everything, they forget about God and that God made it possible, but they still have pain. They have the same pain that you have or I have without anything.
Right.
They have the same pain. They have the same fears. They have the same worries. They have the same doubts. They have the same unhappiness. Their relationships are not working, family ships. They have the exact same thing going on.
Right.
So prosperity doesn't solve anything.
But it seems like people will pursue that over God.
They would, because they think that's the answer. The more you have, you think you'll eventually have peace. You really think having stuff. I realize that God, He makes it possible for us to have stuff, but God really is not concerned about that, because He's okay as long as we have a piece of bread and a cup of water. As long as we have that, He's fine. It's just that in our Father's sake, we don't be fine with that. He's okay if we have one room to live in.
Right.
But we're not okay with that because we're on an ego trip. And we're trying to have the biggest house, the biggest everything.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
I'm not sure yet, but thanks.
Okay. But I would get the idea of prosperity out of my mind. And success, you said? Right?
Yeah, I mean, they're.
I would erase those two things out of my mind,
Yeah.
away from me, and just simply live your life.
I do seem less stressed when I do that.
What?
I do feel less stressed when I'm just living my life versus
Yeah, absolutely.
projecting.
If you just live without wanting anything,
Yeah.
you have a perfect life. and you will have all you need and then some.
Right.
Because all you need physically could be one job, one house, one wife, one child, one or none of those things.
Mm-hmm.
What a mess, huh?
Yes and no, because I'm almost there anyways. What you're
Almost
saying.
where?
To the point where I'm not thinking about it anymore.
Oh, okay.
But it did cross my mind. The fires kind of made me realize, like, because the concept of people losing everything is in the air now in Los Angeles.
Right.
A lot of people are thinking it and talking about it. And there are varying degrees of success. Some people are barely hanging in there, but they got a little piece of the pie. And something like this would devastate those people.
When it should wake them up and not devastate them, but wake them up.
Right.
But they're busy being devastated, so all they're thinking about now is building over again and even bigger and better.
Right, that's what I've been,
And then
that's
they're looking for the government to help them. I didn't know until now that if you have a house and you have insurance, that you have to beg the government for something. I thought you have this home insurance, right? You call up the insurance man, my house burned down, can you send somebody over to fix it? I didn't know that they'd be waiting on the government and begging the government. So maybe I'm wrong.
Well, some will say that the government's lack of preparedness is what actually caused most of the insurance companies to cancel their insurance.
Repeat that?
So there's a lot of talk of the insurance companies
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the government in this state passed laws where it make it difficult for the insurance companies to function.
Right.
What a mess, huh?
Complete mess.
This is hell on earth. Welcome to hell. Are you afraid of going to hell?
That's the other thing I've been thinking about.
What?
You talk about people, if they die in their state, in their fallen state, they stay there.
You're going to stay right in the same hell you're in.
And I was thinking about people I've known over the years who did die like that.
Look down.
Yeah.
They down there.
Yeah.
Mama down there, daddy down there. However you die is where you stay.
But it's
the same state you're in here, in your heart, it's a state that when you drop your body, you're going to be there.
So is fear a good motivation to try to get it together?
No, fear is a good motivation to keep you in hell.
Right.
Have no fear.
That makes sense.
What a mess. Yes, sir. That's who you had? Yeah. Okay.
Do you think the devil knows our capabilities, and that's why he attacks us since we were kids?
Does he know your capabilities?
Right.
What do you mean by that?
God has everything pre-written. He's omnipotent, so he knows the past, present, future. There's no time for God.
Right.
So the devil may have a sneak peek, or he may think that you're capable of becoming something great, and he attacks you since you were a child to get you traumatized. So when you're an adult, you're already in a weakened state. Do you think the devil? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to get at, because as I'm waking up more, I'm realizing that the way I think now, that's been embedded in me since I was a child.
Right.
Every little seed has been planted to think a certain way, to feel a certain way, to react a certain way. It's just a wreck.
What a setup, huh?
And then
our parents hated us so much they set us up to fail. They set us up to suffer. They set us up to fail in life. They hate us. And then some of our own parents hate us.
So how do you think,
What do you think about that?
So as a parent who's trying to wake up, who's on the path, what do you think the best path would be to break those chains? So our children, my children, are no longer affected by that.
First of all, have a brand new heart, a renewed heart, so you have love working through you, and stay on the path of waking up. That's the only way, no other way. You got to stay on that path of waking up, and your kids will see that in you, and if they're not too old, they'll change sooner rather than later. But if they're too old, like 18, 15, 16, 17, 18, they think that they're going to live forever, so they don't care about suffering. But it's when they get older when they start thinking about it. But when they're teenagers, that's the last thing they think. They think they're the cat meow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Did I see your hand, Alexa? No. Any other questions come in? This your first time here? Tell me your first name and how did you hear about us? Take the mic for me, yeah.
Hi, Jesse. My name is Kathy, and I watch you on YouTube for a long time now.
Well, welcome. Any questions or anything?
I thought to myself, if I saw you, I would say one thing that you said that I don't agree with, and that
Okay.
is putting the shopping carts in the corral. Honestly, because if it were just the employee's job to corral those carts, we would not have those stations in the parking lots.
If it was just employees to go out and pick those things
And
up?
pick up the carts, the
You wouldn't
corrals
have a
would not be
station?
there.
No, what happened was, I used to be a bar boy, a
A cart corral?
cart boy.
Yeah.
And they didn't have those stations because my primary job was to go out into the parking lot and bring them in. And the customer would go out and put their groceries in their car and just leave them there. And we were paid to do it. But now the businesses have learned to trick the customers, and they make you take them over to a certain area.
To that corral,
And then
yeah.
if you don't take them over there, they tell you you're a bad customer. Isn't that something?
Right.
And so now they can save money by making you buy the grocery. We used to have to not have to, but we would take the grocery to the car, put it in the car for you, and bring the car back. Isn't that amazing?
It is, yeah, yeah.
And so they're making you do the work that they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
What do you think about that?
It's not that far to walk. They're spaced without. I don't
what
find
now?
it work.
You
I don't
said
find
what?
it work because, like, I park right next to one strategically. I'll put my groceries in, and then I just corral the cart.
I don't park right next to one because I don't want someone to come with the basket and hit my car.
All right.
Try to pull it in there. What a mess.
It is. It is. Can't win.
Can you imagine though that there was a time when you didn't have to worry about that as a customer? Everything was taken care of for you.
Yeah. I can't remember that, but
Oh, you don't remember that?
I'm sure I was around, but I just don't remember it. I've been
Remember when
taken
you
over.
could pull up to a gas station and a person would pump the gas for you
Yes. Yes.
and check the oil and the
Yes.
water and everything?
Yes. Service.
That's
Customer
gone now.
service. Yes.
They have made slaves out of us.
Yes.
They make us pay to be a slave.
Yes.
What a mess.
It is. I'm glad we're in it together.
So are you for the shopping cart, put them in that little thing, or a person picking them up?
I'm for both. I'm for the person putting it in the corral and the employee coming to the corral to take them back to the store.
Or to the corral, but not just let them be out there?
If sometimes if there's a disability, they might have to leave it out there, but I'd prefer to put it back in the corral.
You so nice.
I
That's nice.
yeah,
Mama said be nice. Right on.
try. It's being part of a community.
Being part of what?
A community.
What community of cart?
Like that grocery store is in my community,
A
right?
community of putting back shopping cart?
In the community grocery store, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a community?
Well, it's getting along with others. Nobody is going to have to get out of their car to move the cart I left behind in order for them to park their car.
But some people still have to do it. They fight.
That's why I put my cart back. I don't want the
So
fight.
you don't want to fight.
Right.
I don't
I
blame
just-
you.
I don't
don't
want to
blame
bring
you
the
for that.
anger out in anybody, right?
If you don't put it back, it's like being on the freeway and somebody get mad and they want to shoot you on the freeway.
It could bother somebody somehow, some way.
I know.
If it's in the corral,
I see
it
people
can't.
arguing sometimes about it. What a mess.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Nice. Did you have a question? A comment? Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
Comment real quick.
Okay.
Quick comment on shopping gate.
What?
The safest place is to park right next to the corral, because the corral, it leaves about 2 feet on each side, and so no carts ever go there. So that's the perfect place.
Oh,
If you
yeah?
sneak your car in a little bit more, then you're safe.
But
from
some people
the
go
knucklehead on the
near
right.
it. Some people go almost to it,
Look.
and they'll let the shopping cart, they'll push it really fast, then you're gonna roll up in there on its own, and it'll hit your car.
No, it's safe in that corral. Once they just throw it in the entrance, and it's safe. Because look, I solved this, Jesse. Because look, you park near there, your car is safe mostly on one side, and then you're right there, your car's right there. You don't have to walk anywhere. Your car is safe, and your car is right there.
Amazing.
You know she's right, Jesse.
That's amazing.
What the?
Thank you. I'm about to take a look at that. I think the best place to park is next to the handicap. Have y'all noticed that? You have these handicap park, right? And then right next is a normal parking. And it has a lot of space because the handicapped people got a lot of space to pull in. And so you have a little extra space to pull over by the handicap without going into the line. You're safe there. Try next to the handicap. Amazing. Yes.
Hey, Jesse.
Good morning.
Good morning. Going back to kind of his question. Last week I'm loving my health, right?
You
and I'm
missed the meeting this past Thursday.
I know.
I was looking for you.
I was in my hell,
Meaning what?
meaning that my thoughts got to me.
Wow.
And I just, yeah.
I noticed, don't forget your question or
Yeah.
comment. I noticed that Satan does that to a lot of people. You get on this path, and along the path, Satan would tell you, oh, don't go to the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sunday. You don't have to go every Sunday. You should stay home by yourself. And give you all kind of excuses, and you think you are making up those excuses, and you stop coming. And say, like, right on.
Yeah.
Because most people don't know that there's no them making any excuses, anything. They still think it. Well, you miss it this Thursday. What a mess.
What a mess. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, going back to his question.
We had the women's forum this past Thursday. Go ahead.
As a parent, as a mother
Right.
to a daughter who is working to get out of her hell and not trying to bring my daughter with me
Right.
and not traumatize my daughter the same way my mother did to me.
Yes.
How can I protect my daughter from that?
By staying on a straight and narrow path, watching what's happening inside of you, it should be protected. There's no other way. Because once you truly see what's going on inside of you, you're going to catch it before you go off on your daughter. And that's the only thing that's going to do it.
Yeah, because I'm starting to see how he says it, like, the devil will grasp on to any thought, and
Yeah.
from that thought, he will fuel. He will just
Right.
go at it. And
But he can't do it, though, if you're aware of it and know that it's happening inside of you and do nothing about it. You won't overreact to the devil. And if you don't overreact, there's nothing he can do. As he was asking, the devil can only tempt you. He can't make you do anything. He can only tempt you. But he can't make you kill anyone or yourself, or he can't make you do anything. He just tempt you, and because you think it's you, you're going to carry out the act yourself. But the devil has no power, no authority, no anything. He has no love. He's not connected to God at all, or his little demon. He has nothing. He can only tempt you. That's why God said, resist the devil, and he'll flee from you. You resist the thought, you'll be fine.
Okay.
And don't worry about your daughter. Don't, you realize, oh, my daughter's angry like I am, right? But you can't change it. You work on you, and the light will change in your daughter at some point, if she want to change.
Okay.
But there's nothing you can do, so don't try. You cannot change it. If you try to change it, you're just going to make it worse. There's nothing you can do. That's why with the world, don't try to save the world. Your family members and your husband, your children, your parents, you can't save anybody. Let them suffer and die. They love their misery. It's all spiritual. There's nothing you can do about it. So you have to let them just suffer. Really. You look at them suffer. They're in a bad situation. You're like, oh, wow. What the? There's nothing you can do. And it's safe to say, oh, you love your child. You love your mama. You got to do something. And you try to do something, you make it worse.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can do. Only God can help those who want help. Isn't that amazing?
That is, yeah. Okay.
Any question? Any other?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
I always believe that when when I pray, I put some sort of distance between myself and whatever thoughts I have. Is that true?
Repeat that.
I always believe that when I pray silently, I put a form of distance or barrier between myself and whatever thoughts I have.
If you're aware of the thought, absolutely.
Yes, I can see that now, especially when I pray before I go to bed. At times now and then, I usually have nightmares. And a few days ago, I had a particularly violent nightmare, as if Satan was trying to scare me from praying.
The Satan hates it when you pray. He doesn't mind you doing the hoop and holler prayer. Oh, Lord, help me. I want a house. I want a car. I want this or that. He loves that kind of prayer because he knows you're praying to the devil, to him. But to just be still and pray, he hates that. He will talk you out of that. He will make you afraid because he doesn't want you to realize there's the light of God. He'll stop you from that, but no other kind of prayer will he stop you from. Isn't that amazing?
I see.
He does not want you to see.
I understand it now.
And I know that a whole lot of people start out doing the silent prayer and they get a little comfortable and they stop it. They stop it. I'm like, you doing the silent prayer? When they go, you know they're lying. They're not doing it. The one thing that Satan does not want you to do is to be still and know the truth. He doesn't want that. He does not want that. Any other kind of prayer you can do, you can pray to Allah Abba, you can pray to anybody else. But to be still and let go, you're going to have some problems. He doesn't want that.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. He wants you to think that you can do something. Or pray and God's going to give you this. You can ask God for a car, and Satan will give you a car. And you'll be saying, oh, I asked the Lord for that car, and the Lord gave it to me. Satan can give you a car to deceive you. Isn't that amazing? What a mess. But you can stay on the straight and narrow and have an amazing life. Really, you really can, but you got to stay on this. I don't care if you lose it all. Stay on this path. Just stay on the path. Stay present, stay aware. Yes, sir.
How can you tell if it's the devil giving you what you're asking for versus God?
Because you're not supposed to be asking God for a car.
Well, just
when
in
you
general,
ask God
right?
for a car, you're like, what the?
Like, let's say, like to his question too, with prosper, success, whatever, when you receive, something happens in life because you work hard, How could you tell if it's coming from the devil to deceive you versus God, who's just allowing things to happen?
Because there would be no thinking about it. It wouldn't be what you're wanting for. You would just want to return to the Father, and everything else would be added unto you naturally. You know, you'll be getting those things. But when you're wanting for them, then you are asking Satan for it. That make sense? Yeah. Okay. I have any other questions? I like the questions and the feedback. Excuse me for coughing. I've been doing a lot of talking. I have a question for you first. I had to write this question down. If you had a glass of water in front of you, and in that water you had poison in it, you knew it was going to kill you. And then you had another glass of water, it was just water, and no poison in it. Which one would you take? Uh-huh. Amazing question. If there was a glass of water with poison that you know going to kill you, and then there was a glass of water of just plain old good old water. Oh, speaking of water, that milk was so good. She gave me a jar of milk, and it was the kind of milk they used to deliver to your door. Anybody remember that? The milkman used to come and drop the milk off at your house. Not in Alabama, Indiana. Anybody remember that? No. And that milk was, you remember that? I do. Oh, good. That milk was so good, right? I used to love that milk. And then they made this other kind of milk that makes you sick on the stomach, so I stopped drinking milk. And she gave me a bottle of milk the other day, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna let the office taste it. The guy, I'm sorry I did. That milk was gone. And then when I had something, like, wow, that milk is so good, I want it back. Nick took the rest of the whole bottle almost. It was so good, thank you. It was delicious. It really was. Huh?
Was it raw milk? No.
No, raw milk not good for you. We need cow milk.
That's why cow milk, like raw, straight from the cow you need.
Because
Oh, so cow milk is called raw milk?
When it comes like directly from the cow, yes.
Oh, that's called raw milk?
Yeah.
Why not just call it cow milk?
All these liberal terms.
Oh, okay. But no, it was good though. But, so yes, sir, which one would you?
Where did the water come from? Who is handing me this water?
What?
Can I trust the person that's putting out the glass? Where's this water coming from?
What?
You asked about the water, right? The 2 glasses of water?
No, if there's a glass of water on the table, whether mama put it there or you put, or daddy or somebody, or your girlfriend,
Okay.
or your wife or whatever. But there's a glass of milk on the table, glass of water on the table, 2 glasses of water. And you knew one had poison in it, and that it would kill you, and the glass with no poison. Which one would you take?
Well, how do you know? Who's telling you this?
What? You don't know which one you take?
Did you put the water out there yourself? Can you trust the provider of the water is what I'm asking.
You need some of that milk.
The way he set up that question, it's already implied, so you don't have to overthink it.
Right, don't overthink it. Satan.
Yeah, I would find a
I didn't
way
know
to
that would
get-
be a difficult question.
Well, are we talking about fluoride in the water? Like, fluoride's poison and everyone's drinking it if you're drinking tap water. So we're all making the choice right now if we're drinking tap water.
Yeah, I'm judging. You want to lay hands on me? So let me go to somebody else then.
Okay.
Wow. The young lady, let's see. If there was a glass of water with poison
I'll tell you
in it,
right now, I would drink the one that has no poison.
and why?
Because it has no poison.
Oh, okay. Nice. Raymond, which one would you take?
It should be obvious even to a child of 3. I would
What?
take. It should be obvious.
Oh,
I would take a glass with no poison
and why?
because I can see it doesn't have any poison.
Oh, okay. Amazing. The young man way in the back.
It's pretty obvious you take the one with no poison,
And why?
because otherwise you know you're going to die.
Okay. Interesting.
It's pretty glaringly obvious,
What's
unless
wrong with
you're in a
him?
horrible situation and you want to end it.
What's wrong with the intellectual?
Well, he's obviously suicidal.
Oh,
He's obviously suicidal. 100% he's suicidal.
okay. Well, thank you. Which one would you take,
The pure water.
and why?
Because I wouldn't want to die.
You wouldn't want to die,
No.
and why not?
Because if I drink poison, it's like a really violent death. Like you tend to like throw up blood and stuff. I wouldn't
Oh,
wanna,
okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Derek, this is my producer. He black. Which one would you take,
The one without the poison,
and why?
because I don't want to die. I don't want to kill myself.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
This young lady. Oh, you guys wonder, what is he going with this question?
I'll take the one clean water.
The clean water without the poison? Why?
2 reasons. One, knowingly drinking something that's going to kill you is equal to committing suicide, and if it's not your time to go, it doesn't come naturally, and it's not from the right place where
Right.
you just die, that would be an option. So you're interfering with what is not naturally given. Second option would be why take something that knowingly is gonna hurt you? Because
That's a good point.
I would want to leave, especially at this point where I am right now. I would want to improve myself before I die. Because if I die now, it's not a nice place where I am right now.
Absolutely. Okay, amazing. Alexa, which one would you take,
The clean water,
and why?
because I'm not ready to die.
You're not ready to die?
Mm-mm.
You don't want to die?
No, not yet. I want to live.
Okay. Which one would you take? And then here.
I would take the one without the poison in it.
And why is that?
The poison would be certain death.
Certain death. You're going to die for sure.
With poison, very likely.
Right. Okay. Which one would you take?
The one without the poison.
And why is that?
I don't want to know when I'm going to die.
You don't want to know when you're going to die?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You know the poison going to take you out right away, huh?
Exactly.
Right on. Okay. The young man in the back, which one would you take?
The one without poison in it.
And why is that?
Because that's like you're forcing your death upon yourself, and if it's not your time, it's not your time, like the woman said.
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
Yeah.
I saw a hand just now. Oh, here. Yes. Hold on a minute. There you go.
It just made me think after I spoke. That means I don't have any trust in God. If I don't drink, let's say there's poison in there, and I drink that, what if it's not my time to go in? What if that poison doesn't work on me? Which means I don't have trust in God.
I wouldn't take that risk. I wouldn't be like, God, it would be like those people, they had the religious group, they believe that they would let snakes bite them. Y'all heard that group? Yeah. And because the Bible said, if a snake bites you, the poison won't kill you, something dumb. But I wouldn't take that risk. All right. Who? What?
The Bible also said, "Don't put God through the test."
That's right. Don't test God. Make sure you don't drink. Which one would you take, Doug?
I'm hoping the one that's pure.
And why is that?
For the reason that everybody else said, I can see that it's pure, and I can see the other one has poison. I wouldn't want to take something that's going to harm me.
Okay. Amazing. I'm going somewhere with this question. I just don't know where.
I may change my answer.
Okay. Which one would you take, Anchor Baby?
I'm crazy enough that I'm gonna try and outthink you or something.
Right.
And be like, no, this is a trick question, and then I'll kill myself with poison. And then on my gravestone it'll say, I thought I told you all thoughts are lies, dummy.
So you're taking?
Yeah, I don't know, the clean water, obviously.
I can see that.
You gotta drink the clean
doing
water.
that. What?
You gotta drink the clean water. That's the right answer.
Oh, okay. Which one will you take, Joe?
The clean water.
And why?
It just seems obvious. There's no.
Are you surprised my friend, it didn't seem obvious to him?
You said what?
What do you think about my friend answer to it?
I mean, I think he spoke what everybody was thinking.
Oh.
Because everybody's trying to think of a deeper, there's some kind of twist because it seems so obvious.
Right.
So everybody's laughing, but everybody's doing the same thing he did.
That's a good point. Sorry, friend. How about here? Which one would you take?
The water?
And why? Yes, between the poison water and the clear water.
Yeah, clear water.
And why?
Because I only want water.
What?
Because I only want water.
What?
Because I only want water.
Oh, okay. Nice. How about you?
Well, clear water. And I don't like that Joe inferred that everybody was thinking that.
And why is that?
Just because I don't want to die. I like life. Life is fun.
Oh, you like life?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
That's interesting. This young lady right here. Which one would you drink?
Every day I drink the poison.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. That I'm in about the boo-hoo. The young lady in white. Which one would you take?
I want to take the clear water, the clean water.
Right.
But because I don't want to die in my hell.
So you would drink the clear water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or trying.
Amazing. And so what do you mean by every day you drink the poison water?
I know what's good for me, but I don't always do what's good for me.
Yeah.
So I can't even say that I would take the clear water even though it seems obvious.
Everyone in this room just lied. They would drink the poison water. Every time you reach for a thought, every time you believe a thought, you're drinking the poison water. Every time. You go from one glass of poison to another one. Because you drink one glass and you think, oh, that didn't kill me. You reach into the basket for another poison glass of water by reaching for thoughts. Every time, and I promise you this, every time you believe a thought about anything, you're drinking the poison. You're dying. You're already dead because you're reaching. If you weren't dead, you would never reach for thought. But you're dying even more so every time you reach for a thought about anything, except, oh, how can I build my house? A practical thought, right? You don't live by that. But every time you reach for a thought, you're dying. And every one of you reach for thought. I tell you, don't do it. I tell you not to judge. Remember when I gave that little don't judge for a day thing? Don't judge with thoughts and eyes and words and gestures and all that. What did you do? You judged. If not someone else, you judged yourself. You reached for the poison and you died. All thoughts, all the time, are poison. There's no life in thoughts. And yet everyone lives by their thoughts. Well, they think they're living, but they're really dying. And that's why nothing works in your life. Nothing works. You could be what you call successful with business. Let's say you get a big business, a lot of money, and big house and all that. You're still reaching for thought, you're still dead. You're unhappy. You gotta stop reaching for the poison. You, if you wanna live, because you gotta die in order to live, you're not gonna die until you stop reaching for thoughts. If you wanna live, you must die. You gotta die from the thoughts. You are not gonna have life as long as you believe in thoughts about anything. Anything. judging yourself and judging other people, wanting this and wanting that, and can't be alone, and have this opinion about yourself, and have fear. All those are poisons of water. Anyone that has fear, and that fear control you, you're drinking this glass of poison. Because in that poison, you're not going to do anything. That poison is going to tell you, don't do this and don't go over there. You and your boss have a fight. Your boss get on you about not doing a job in the right way. And you get mad, right? And now you're mad at the boss. You can't even look at the boss when you walk into the office. You drink the poison the moment you got angry. But if you can see that you're angry, you go over to the boss and say, oh, Mr. Boss, what did I do wrong in that job? Because you could have been right and the boss could be wrong. Or the boss could be wrong, right, and you could be wrong. But in your drinking of the poison, by believing the anger and not dealing with it, by going past it and not let the anger control you at all, you drink the poison and you're dying. When you sit and compare yourself to someone, you're drinking poison. When you think you can't live without someone, you're drinking poison. I can't tell you the number of people around the world who have started out working on themselves, and they were doing great. They were seeing. And Satan told them, oh, you don't have to do the silent prayer today. Oh, it's too late. Just do this. And they stopped because they picked the wrong glass. They thought that it wasn't necessary, not understanding that Satan does not want you to be in the light. He wants you in the darkness. Every thought that you have is darkness, and it's poison, and you're dying. You're dying. You gotta stop. So everybody lied about this glass of clear water, sorry. Because you're always reaching for the poison glass. Think about this morning when you woke up. You woke up and you opened your eye. How many poison glass of water you believed? Before you even get to the bathroom. You thought about the past. You thought about the future. You thought about this person or that person who heard you or didn't hurt you. Just before you even get to the bathroom, and then while you're washing your face, forget it. You got to start reaching for the poison. Thoughts are poison. And thoughts keep you dead. Christ said that if you want life, you got to die from that. You got to die from thoughts. You don't know what you want, you don't know what you need, but you will be taken care of when you start reaching for the wrong glass. It will be added unto you, and it will be amazing. Your life will be fine. You're going to have an amazing life when you stop reaching for thoughts. When you stop looking for love. Ain't nobody got no love to give you. Just think about that. You look to another person for love. You look to another person for friendship. And when they smile, you think that's a friend. Or if someone do something nice for you, the first thing you say, you don't even have to know them. Let's say you're in this meeting, and you're out there in the lobby waiting for the meeting to start, and somebody hand you a cup of coffee. The first thing you say, oh, that's such a nice person. And you just got coffee from the devil. But you thought they did something nice, and a thought tell you that's a nice person. Anybody ever done that? Somebody did something nice, you thought how nice that person is? And then you find out, wow, that was a mean, nasty person. You meet your boyfriend, girlfriend, and they say all these nice things for you or to you. They say what you want to hear. And when they say what you want to hear, you say, oh, that's such a nice, oh, God, this is for me. And then you marry them, and both of you destroy each other. And neither one of you are for each other at all. It wasn't meant to be. But you said, in your mind, the devil told you, this is your husband or wife, and you believed it. You got to start. You got to make up your mind, folks. This year I told you we're not playing, right? You got to decide, are you going to die from this poison and drink the clear water only, or are you going to stay in your hell? You can be free, I promise you that. God is not in your past. He's not in your future. He's not even concerned about that at all. Only Satan is concerned about that. And as long as he can keep you in memory, he can control you. He can keep you out of heaven. As long as you're unwilling to forgive. Oh, they treat me so bad. I ain't gonna forgive that one. You just drink the poison water. God said to forgive 77, James? 70 times 7. That means forgive forever. Forgive forever. When you get angry, you're drinking the poison. You're drinking out of the poison cup. When you get angry. There's no reason to ever be angry. And there's no reason to ever judge yourself or anyone else. Don't judge. They're drinking out the same glass you're drinking out. Even when your kids act up, and they will, because they had crazy parents already, so they can't help but do what you've done, right? When they do, don't judge them. Johnny, why did you do that? Oh, no. Oh, okay. You don't have to argue at them, yell at them. You show them love. That doesn't mean you're accepting it. You're just not causing them to stay angry or get angry at you and staying there drinking the poison. You're showing them love because you know why they're doing it. You did the same thing. Everybody in this room used to be a slut maker, and some of you still are, right? And then every lady used to be a slut. So when your kids grow up and be sluts, you know why they're sluts and slut makers? Your daddy, your mama couldn't stop you from being a slut or a slut maker, right? They'll say, okay, you're going on a date, don't slut tonight. And you're like, okay. And the first thing you do is slut. And then you come home, they find out you slut, they get angry at you. Like they were never a slut maker or a slut. They know what that is. Right. If you want to stop your kids from being sluts, stop yelling at them. Because just make them angry and make them look for love. And they go to the party, some little slut get them a glass of Kool-Aid. I know. Does this make sense? Yeah. Stop drinking this poison water. I was talking to someone recently. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you around lately. And they were like, well, I just figure I stay alone. I just won't come to the meeting. I stay at home. All I do is talk. I just do this and I do that. And I would listen to the devil tell them all that. We're supposed to get together, edify one another. But the devil made this person think they have it, and now you can just be alone. And they sound like a nutcase. But I ain't said nothing. I just said, oh, okay. That's what you decide. You believe, you're drinking the poison. Isn't that amazing? Stop drinking the poison. You don't have to. Drink the water of life and not of death. Every time you listen to those thoughts, and they'll tell you crazy things because they don't want to leave your body. They don't want to leave your mind. You got to live a no-thinking life. When Adam was with the Father, he didn't think about anything. Adam knew the mind of God without having to say it, and you can too. Without having to think about it or anything, and you can too. But you got to stop thinking. You could be free, but you got to stop listening to this. And anything that happened to you, it's your fault that it's happening. Because if it wasn't inside of you already, in here, nobody can make you think or feel anything. If you didn't already think about what people think about you, You wouldn't walk over to a crowd and think, oh God, what are they going to think? That thinking is inside of you. It's not out there. Now, if it's out there, it's inside of them, but who cares about what somebody else thinks, right? The fact that you care about other people, what they think about you, is inside of you. Those thoughts are inside of you. And it's you that thinking and feeling it. And you blame them for it. Your problem, and in all honesty, you have no problems. You just have thoughts. There's no such thing as problems. But most people love to have the thoughts and yell and complain about the thought so they can feel like they have problems, so they can get a thrill of having a problem. And then don't sit down and talk to them about their problem. They'll talk all day about the problem that doesn't even exist. It's just thoughts. God said, your thoughts are not my thoughts. Your ways are not my ways. So none of this stuff is from God. It's from your God, the devil, and you believe it. No such thing as being lonely. No such thing as being afraid. No such thing as looking for love. No such thing as needing love. No such thing. All you need to do is return to the Father. That's the only love you need. That's the only love you need. And if you got together with that kind of love, you would never hurt each other because you would be fulfilled. And you wouldn't expect this person to give you love. And that person wouldn't expect to get love from you. You will have a marriage, friendship, whatever kind of ship that will last you until death do you part. Because you want for nothing. You want for nothing. You got to stop drinking the poison water. Everybody say, oh, I drink the glass. No, you won't. Stop reaching for thought. All you ever do, reach for one thought to another thought, to another thought, to another thought. You just go from thought to thought, and you think, oh, the next one is going to work. And you go to another thought. Anybody guilty of that? Nice. You said, give me that example of you doing it.
There's times where I have to go meet with clients. I'm like, man, like, are my shoes on right? Am I wearing this right? Do I look presentable? I have those thoughts all the time before appointments. But then when I get there, they're just happy to see me, and it's like, it's all up here.
It's all in there.
It's all up here.
Yeah.
They didn't judge me. They didn't care if my shoes were shiny. They didn't care if my shoes were nice or anything. They didn't care.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
I think the people who make and sell clothes played a trick on us. They say you have to wear this kind of outfit for this kind of occasion, and this kind of occasion you have to dress with this, and this kind of occasion, and we fell for it. Now we try to buy all these different clothes when nobody else really cares.
Yeah. And one of the things that my last client just told me right now, the other day, you know, I was having those thoughts like, man, like I was out all day. I probably smell of sweat because I was in and out of the car. Blah, blah. I got there. He's like, man, I'm just glad you're here to help me.
That's right.
So he
It's
just destroyed
all thought.
everything. He destroyed everything that I was thinking.
Absolutely.
And he's like, I'm just happy you're here to help me.
Yeah.
Baffled myself.
Nice example.
Yeah.
What a mess. Give me the examples of you reaching for thoughts. Yes.
This one's embarrassing. So last year, I used to have really, really long hair, and I got this really great thought that said that I could cut my own hair. And I created a problem for myself because I couldn't make it even, and then the more I tried, the more shorter it was getting, and then my hairdresser cut my hair, and then I'm like, oh, now I look like a lesbian because it was so short. It is just, like you said, like a thought. It just keeps going and going and going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What a mess, huh?
Yeah.
Our only problem, and it's in the Bible, not like I'm making it up. Our only problem is we live by thoughts. That's the only problem we have. We believe a lie. That's what the devil, somebody mentioned the devil tempted us. That's the only thing the devil can do is tempt us with thought, and we'll make a fool of ourselves. Really, that's all he can do. But if we didn't believe his temptation, didn't reach for it or believe it, he could do nothing. he can do nothing. You can be totally free. You can walk this earth in 100% control of your own life. 100% control of your own life. And if somebody want to walk out on you, okay, bye. Why do I care if you want to leave me or not? Okay. You want the kids? Take them with you. You want, oh, I love my kids. I just miss my kids. I'm going to go to court and spend all my money fighting. You're lying. You drink the wrong water. And you're not trusting God that he'll take care of you. God knows two devils got together and now they're fighting over the kids. Why don't you work on yourself and let him take care of whatever will be for you? You take those kids and then they turn 17, 18, they hate you anyway. They don't like you. And they go right back to mama or to daddy and you fall and spend all that money and they don't like you. You could have bought yourself a house. Do you reach for your thoughts, the young man?
Yes.
And give me an example.
This morning, my walk from the bed to the restroom, I caught myself thinking of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And when I got to the mirror, I'm like, what am I doing? So I caught him. And then I started being present and reaching for the soap. I was really aware of what was going on.
Right on.
You know, I put in practice what you've taught. So, yeah, that works.
Stay with it, stay with it. I want you to, this year is about staying present. Practice staying present. That's where everything is. It's right here, right now. It's not in yesterday. It's not in tomorrow. It's right here, right now. Everything is right here. Right now, all is well. It really is. But you reach for the poison, you think it's not well. You complain, oh, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough this. And you do have enough. You can buy some food for the night. You have a roof on your head. Why don't you have enough? How much you need? You know what I mean? Give me an example of you reaching for the wrong water.
I tend to like take on like a new project to fill something up inside.
Yeah.
It's like I'm constantly reorganizing stuff, and that's like not. I don't think it's necessarily normal. Just makes me feel good for a moment.
Yeah.
And then the moment's gone, of course, and life starts happening, and things end up going the way they're gonna go. I have no control over it. But for that moment, I guess I think I have some control because I'm giving in to those thoughts. Like I've been noticing a little bit lately about like how much I'm trying to fill time. And I don't need to do that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Stop reaching for the poison water.
Right.
Your thoughts are poisoning. They're killing you. Everybody dead, except the people who are truly waking up. But look around, people dead. You don't see life out there. People fight one another, hate one another, kill one another, rape, robbing, murdering, killing, the government setting you up. Look what the government did with the fire thing. It's the government's fault that this fire is like this. And then it's the people's fault that they voted for the government that they got. Because they went for the wrong thought. Oh, I'm a Democrat, or I'm a Republican, and I'm going to stay that way. I said, oh, okay. They drank the wrong water. When you take side with someone, you agree with them, you take their side. Let's say two couples are fighting. Or anyway, two people are fighting. Oh, let's do this. Let's say you are against abortion and this side is for abortion. And you're going to join side with the people who are against abortion. And now you got to fight with the people you join side with the person for abortion. And now you got to fight with the people against abortion. And you go hold your little rally, holding up a sign saying, I'm for abortion. Pro-life. And then you fight with the people that are against it. Why are you in somebody else's fight? You know what you think. You ain't got to rally. You ain't got to fight over it. You don't need to go fight with the other devil. It's just devils fighting. And whomever going to have abortion, going to have that abortion anyway. But you on the news holding a press conference saying how wonderful you are because you fought for the abortion. You stand out in the snow, all cold, holding a press conference saying how religious you are because you fought for abortion. And then the other people on the other side saying how religious they are. They fought. Let the world fight by themselves. Why are you fighting with the world? You're supposed to be in it, but not of it. Overcome the world. Christ came that you might overcome the world, not be in of the world. Do you want to be of the world? It ain't your fight. Don't hate the person that don't want to kill their baby, and don't hate the person that want to kill their baby. They want to kill their baby. Kill your baby. Hey, your baby, it ain't mine. Do you see God stopping anybody from killing their children? So who are we? We're not God. Why are we mad at him? Why? Why are you wasting your time up in Washington, D.C. every year in the cold talking about you're pro-abortion? And nobody cares. You get some thrill from being on TV. It's just a thrill. It ain't stopping. This is hell on earth. Let hell happen. And you live in heaven on earth within you. Heaven is that you control your whole world. You can control the whole universe inside of you. But it's in you. You got to take back your life by stop drinking this water. Stop agreeing and stop joining sides. And somebody tell you, oh, you pro-abortion? You kill your baby? Yeah, what about it? I killed 2 of them. Oh, okay. I'm not going to judge you. Did you know that Christ doesn't even judge the people who kill the children in the womb? And the reason for it, because Christ, God knows who made you kill the baby in the womb. It wasn't you. It was the thoughts. You got mad, or you want to live up to some kind of standard. You want to live more standards, or you want to not have a baby so you can go to work. You believe thoughts. Drop all your more standards. They don't work. All of our life, we've been trying to live up to a standard. Oh, I'm going to love everybody. I'm going to treat everybody the way I want to be treated. I'm going to live a moral standard. I'm not going to judge. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to get married. I'm going to grow up, get me a job, get married, have me some kids. And then you get married and have kids, you're miserable. Because you got false moral standards. They don't work. But if you didn't have any, you will live in the present, and therefore all the values are in the present. We've been taught wrong about morality. And then you judge, that's why you're judging the pro-abortion. Pro-abortion means people who for it, right? The pro-abortion people are judging the anti-abortion because you've been told one is right and one is wrong. And then you're judging them not knowing you're worse than the person that's killing the baby. Because you're judging. The judge E is worse than the judger, some kind of way. Yeah. You're worse than the people you judge. You're a murderer. And you're so quick to judge. You're judged just like that. Stop it. This year, stop it. Don't judge with thoughts, eyes, words, gestures, or anything, emotions. Because somebody walk in this room right now and they're not that clean. You go, oh. Don't sit by me. And you won't say a word, but in your mind you judge them. And they're lost and they're looking for help. And they'll come into the light looking for help, and you'll give them darkness because you've already judged them. Christ never judged anyone. And he dealt with some horrible situations. He ran into some horrible people because they were all evil at the time. Nobody could write. And he didn't judge anyone. And they treated him bad. But he never judged them because he knew it wasn't them. That something else had made a home in them, and they couldn't help it. That's why the Father sent the Son to save them from hell. All of our sins have been wiped away. You're not a sinner. You're not a saint. The only thing you got to do is forgive in the heart, admit that you've been playing God. Anyone that has anger is playing God. As long as you play God, you never know God. That's the only thing holding you back. Stop playing God. And so when you're judging and when you think you know what you want, you think that you know right from wrong. You don't even know right from wrong. What we've been taught about right and wrong has been wrong. We don't know right from wrong. We don't know it. And that's why we're always judging, because we think we're judging right and wrong, and we're not. We're playing God. What a mess, huh? You know what's so interesting, though? We could be free. We can just live our life without any opinion or any ideas or any wants or any needs or anything. But you decide to believe thoughts. And I tell you all the time, don't believe thoughts, leave it alone. What do? You believe thoughts. Why y'all looking at me like that? I'm thinking. Any questions or comments about what you've heard? Yes, ma'am.
Well, going back to the thoughts, I've been wanting to come here for probably over a year, and I was waiting for a motivational thought to get me here. And yesterday I thought, well, I want to meet you before either of us die, which if I died, it wouldn't matter, because then I wouldn't know that I didn't meet you.
Right.
But if you do, then I would know.
Well, I'm not dying. Thank you.
No, but I'm just saying, that came to my mind, and I was like, well, that's a good enough excuse or motivation to go. Just like I used to have to get motivated to exercise or something, and it was usually vanity or something, right? Where now I know you just do it because you have to, because it's for health, right? Whether you're happy or not, or motivated or not.
You still should do it.
And then this morning, I woke up at 6 and I was doing my routine, and the whole time I'm thinking, well, that's not a good excuse to go to Bond today. But I knew I was going to come, but basically up until I got here, I was finding any excuse to not come here. And it was just like, I'm delusional, because it's going and going and going, but I knew I was still going to come, so why was I still giving into those thoughts? Then I sat in my car for 10 minutes thinking about how I was going to be late, even though I was early. And I'm watching it happen, which is a trip, because I'm aware of it now, where before I wasn't aware of it.
Yes.
Until I, not met you, but found you on YouTube, which really changed my whole perspective, because I always thought it was me.
Yeah.
And I really, truly believed that it was me. And so I wasted a lot of brain energy all day doing that, as I'm watching it. So it's like I'm possessed,
Yes.
And,
yes.
and I'm aware of it. So that was, I just wanted to comment on that.
Absolutely. All you need to do is to be aware of it. Do nothing else about it. Just be aware of it. And what I want you to know for sure and without a doubt, all those thoughts that came to you today or whenever were never yours. None of them were yours.
Yeah.
You, me, human beings are incapable of making decisions. It's not our thoughts at all. None of them are yours. None of our thoughts are us. We don't make thoughts. We can't even come up with a thought. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It was just the deceiver.
Yeah, it felt like a battle, because
Yes.
I was like, no, I'm going to go. I prepared everything to come here, and I had already set my mind on it. And it was just like more and more thoughts were coming in. I'm watching it happen, and I almost gave in a lot, actually. And I kept finding other things to do, oh, no, I have to do this, actually. Maybe I'm not going to go. But then I knew I was going to come anyways, so.
Right on.
What a waste.
Well, just remember, we human beings are incapable of thinking. It's not given to us to think. If it's up here in the mind, it's from Satan. Knowing is from God.
Right.
And he will, because when we stop believing the thought, we get to know, and we walk by knowing the truth and just seeing what to do without having to think about it.
Right.
So just know whenever you're thinking, it's not you thinking.
Right.
So don't ever call I'm thinking, or I'm a this and I'm a that. So you can totally disassociate with it, stop identifying with them, and they will be taken away from you, because they're all spirits that in the mind. Satan and his little demons.
Right. Like I knew I
Beautiful.
was going to come. That was the practical part of it. Like
Yes.
I know I'm going. And
Yeah.
then the other 5 hours was like, it's overwhelming for sure.
It is. But if you stay with it, and the overwhelming feeling that you have from them, that you get from them, it's the demons trembling in fear
Right.
that they're going to leave you. They have to leave you. And so it feels like you're trembling, but the demons are trembling because now you are aware. The light is shining, and they know that they can't handle the light. They hate the light. They're going to have to leave you. So it's not you. Never identify with it again. You'll be fine. But I'm glad you saw it. Just see it, but don't call it you. Don't argue with it. Don't give it a name. Just notice it. And you'll be. They have to leave you. They really have to leave you. Isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Okay.
Amazing. Yes. Where'd you get? Oh, okay. I get Hitler in a minute. I saw Hitler doing this, but I forgot. Let me take here, then I come to here. What do you think about the thoughts and what we've had to say about it?
Right now in my life, I follow a lot of thoughts, and I fall into anger, and then I create a story, and then sometimes before a couple of weeks ago, I was completely acting on the thoughts because what was happening were extremely too much. Things were happening back to back. Reality was unfolding like there is no tomorrow. And I couldn't catch myself in that quiet moment to fall back and stop it. So I was in that circle, following. But then it came to a point where that wasn't helping. So I asked myself, okay, if this is not helping, there must be another option. And if I don't have control over anything, then just stop it. When I stopped it, I completely dropped it. I can't say I'm at a point where I'm fully free of following the thoughts, but miracles started happening.
Yes.
Where I was seeing the change.
Yes.
I was seeing my mistakes. I was seeing what happened throughout the 16 years that could have brought us to this point.
Yes.
And that's even more painful than what has happened. But following the thoughts were setting me up to even worse things.
So it's painful to see, once you see where you were wrong, that's painful too?
That's probably even more painful than what had happened.
Yeah, I understand. Because the thoughts make us do some crazy stuff, right? And then when we finally realize we did it, and we say, oh, I can't believe I was that dumb. I can't believe I was that stupid. What the? But we couldn't see. And it's amazing what the thought would make you do. It was like the young man was saying he had this morning, all these thoughts, right? Because once you believe one, and if you go with it, he's gonna give you another and another and another. And they say, you're ready to jump off the bridge.
I feel like good and evil work together.
Huh?
I feel like good and evil work together.
Meaning what?
What I mean is, let's say someone asks you something to do that comes from a good place. You don't know what that person is thinking or what that person is going through or their previous traumas that they're acting upon, whatever we call it, right? They ask you to do something. You do it. But then when the moment comes to do the right thing, you remember, but this person asked me to do certain thing, so I shouldn't. And then you get into this chain of thoughts, and it takes totally somewhere else.
Absolutely. Right on. Thoughts are poisoning. Stop believing them. They are not God, from God. No thoughts are from God, and they're not from you because we're not able to come up with a thought. We're not able to come up with a thought. You cannot sit here, you can, the rest of the day, I leave you here, okay, y'all stay here. And Nick will lock up the doors, and we'll leave. And I say, okay, come up with a thought, and then tomorrow morning we'll see y'all when we come back into work. You will not be able to come up with one thought. Of ourselves, we can do nothing, and of ourselves, we know nothing. We don't even create thought. Just think about that. But we think we do. Oh, that was my thought. That was my thought to judge Mary Ann. Mary Ann was a slut. So I need to judge Mary Ann. You don't know Satan telling you to judge Mary Ann, and he's doing it because you don't have any understanding of what's driving Mary Ann. It's not Mary Ann, it's not the slut, it's the spirit that made a home in her. But because you've been taught wrong values and how to live by your little values, you may not be slutting, but you may be thinking wrong or lying or gossiping or afraid or lonely or doubtful or whatever. It's the same thing. It's the same spirit. It's just a different name. One called slut and one called a different name. Stop judging this year. Don't judge. And don't judge yourself because there's no one there to judge. So people like tell me in counseling, I'm like, well, who is judging whom? Who is telling you to judge? And who are you judging? And who is telling you to judge? Oh, I talked to myself. I was like, oh, so you talk with the devil. There's no one, just think about that. There's no one there to judge. It's all an illusion and false gods. Stop worshiping your false gods. You should have no other God before God. Yes, sir. What a mess.
The other day I realized what you were saying about how thoughts make you, can lead you to disaster, really. Yep. So I'm driving home, or I'm driving here actually, and my boss says, what happened with this situation? The customer's upset. So I'm driving, and now I'm trying to figure out like, what's going on. Didn't have anything to do with us, but my mind is like, my boss is asking me this, what's going on? So my mind went a little crazy. And I started seeing myself, I started seeing these thoughts come to me to do stuff. Do this, do that, tell him this. And then I kind of realized that I am literally, if I do that, I could literally just destroy the whole thing because that doesn't even make sense, right? So I kind of realized as I was driving, put your phone down. When you get to where you're going, you can answer the question. And I realized it because the thought was going to have me do something that, who knows, I could have gotten in a wreck driving, trying to text on my phone or whatever. But the thoughts were telling me, tell him this, do this, make sure you do that. And I'm driving. So it's kind of interesting how it works. It can lead, I guess it's designed to lead to disaster.
To destruction. Because it's poison.
Yeah.
All thoughts are poison.
And it's very, that poison's very sweet.
Yeah.
So you try it and it's good for a moment, but then you got to go through you got to go through everything else.
Pay attention. You're absolutely right. Pay attention. One last thing, I went into a business this week to get something, and the person at the county was nasty. I mean, just nasty. And right away my thought told me, the thought told me, go off on her. Look how nasty she is. And I said, no. I mean, I didn't say no, but I saw that was the thought, right? And I just asked for what I wanted. I stayed calm. I showed this person love by not judging her. And she became so nice, her attitude changed. because I didn't argue with her. Two devils were not fighting. And she needed that. She needed somebody to see through her darkness and not go with her. And who knows? She may think about that later. I was so nasty. Look at it. I couldn't. This person didn't get mad at me and go off or whatever, right? The world needs the light. And Christ came and the light was him, with him. It needs the light in you. Let your light shine. Whatever situation, you're going to find yourself in some bad situations, what seems to be bad, but let your light shine in those situations. Don't go into darkness with the situation. You stay with light. People are looking for help, and they don't even know it. Most people don't even know it, but they may recognize it in you. Because the light will defeat the darkness. It really will. Let your light shine this year. Stop judging. Have no opinion about anyone. And let your ego go through whatever it's got to go through. Let your ego go through whatever it got to go through. Anybody, oh, you understand what I mean by that? Okay. What do I mean by let your ego go through what you got to go through?
I'm not trying to defend myself, basically.
Right.
Been challenging myself with that.
Don't defend it, right?
Yeah, don't.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's right. You walk into a room and everybody says, oh, she smells. Let yourself smell.
Yeah.
And do what you got to do. Yeah. Because the ego will be saying, oh, run, get out of here, get away, right? You got to take care of your business first and then go home and shower.
You had to use that example. That's like one of my worst fears.
Absolutely. And if you walk into a room and the devil tell you, oh, they're thinking this or that about you, whatever it might be, right? Your hair nappy. Well, whatever, right? Okay, the devil telling you that your hair is nappy. And you're believing what the devil is telling you about your hair that other people are thinking, now you want to go home and comb your hair. Go on to work with nappy hair because those thoughts are inside of you. They're in here. They're not out there telling you that. Those people don't care nothing about your hair. And if they did, what do you care about what people are thinking about you? Who have time to think about what others think about them? But the devil makes you think it's fine. Oh, you got to do something. It's all in you. It's in you. Hell is in here. All right? So, did you have your hand? I forgot. I think I saw your hand. You still want to respond?
Yeah, I got to kind of whopper.
Okay.
All right, on the topic of judgment and that, when we were talking about the people that kill their babies, and let's just talk about murders and all that. So, it's been bugging me all year. So if God knows that it's not you, right? That you didn't do that, that's the thoughts and whatnot, you overcame, you killed babies, you raped, you murdered, all this stuff, right?
Right.
So why, and Jesus is not going to judge you for that, right? Why go to hell in the first place? You know what I mean?
Because you're playing God.
Because hell seems like that's a place for people who are responsible for their actions, and if you're not, then, and if the thoughts and the Lord and God knows that the thoughts overcame you, and that's why you murdered, you did all this, then like, I don't know, you know, that bugs me. That's a big question. You know, why go to hell in the first place?
That's a good question.
What's it all about? You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty huge question. So,
Hate want to respond to that question.
let me know an answer, Hate.
Y'all understand that question? Isn't that an amazing question? Yeah. Who don't understand the question? Okay. He said that, if God knows that you didn't commit the murder or you didn't kill the baby, you're there, why go to hell in the first place?
I think because if you don't have any love, then you can't get into heaven. So there's only one place to be, is in hell. So it doesn't matter that you weren't responsible for what you did because you were listening to Satan. You just don't have any love, so you're not back with God. Not back with God in life or in death.
Amazing. Yes, sir.
When you do those things like murder, kill your baby, you're already one with Satan in hell. You're already in hell.
Absolutely. It's not you that's doing it. It's the devil doing it through you, as the young man mentioned earlier. He is tempting you, but you think you're tempting you. You think you got a reason to do it. He's just tempting you to make you do it. And anyone that's living in their thought, you're in hell. You're already in hell, and you're doing the works of the devil. And it's not you, but the devil, the spirit of evil working through you to make you carry out the works of the devil in your body. And God knows that it's not you. He knows that it's the spirit in the body. It's not you. Because if you didn't if you didn't believe thought, you would never do anything wrong, what we call wrong. You would never murder, you would never rape, you would never kill your kids, you would never yell at your kids, you would never yell at one another, you would never judge. You're only doing it because you're living in hell already. And God knows that it's not you, but it's the spirit that made a home in you. As Paul said, it's not me. It's not me. I realize it's not me, but something made a home in me. And it make me do the thing. It prevent me from doing the right thing. It's not me. God knows that it's not you, but you don't know that it's not you. And that's what the problem is. There is no you to judge. Because there is no you. You're either on the side of evil, one with evil, or one with good. You can't be both. So that's why. Yes, ma'am.
So is the awareness what makes it different? Like when they say let's say you do a bunch of bad things, but you're blinded by like society and like the things you've been brainwashed with. So you do those bad things until you realize that they are bad, and so now you're aware of it. But if you continue to be on, I guess, Satan's side, then now it's wrong. Is that what makes the difference?
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
Like I know in the Bible it says like your awareness of sin, right? Let's say like before I did certain things that I thought were right, like they were okay. And then when I began to wake up, I completely saw everything different. And so now I know it's almost like my choice if I do something that's wrong. So now I'm almost choosing to be in hell, you know?
Oh, I see. Once you wake up, you're not going to do those things anymore.
Well, once you wake up, now it's your responsibility to whether make a good choice or a bad choice?
God will guide you. You have no responsibility.
No, but I'm saying, is that when you're kind of guilty? Because now that you're...
Oh, I see.
You know, because before you would commit these sins
the only
and you
thing
think...
that you're guilty of is judging, what Hate was saying. You're only guilty of playing God.
Okay.
And in playing God, the true God cannot be your God. The false God become your God. That's the only thing you're guilty of. Salvation is of the heart. But you're not guilty of your nature because you're now, when you became judgmental, angry, you took on the nature of your father, the devil.
Right.
And so you can't help but do the things you do, right?
Right.
But when you forgive, the heart change from anger to love, now the light is on, God will change your nature. He will take all those things away from you and you will only do good. Because now you are good, your heart has changed to good, your nature has been changed now to good. Once it's changed, you can't do anything but good. You got to be good in order to do good, and you have to have a good nature, which is the nature of God. Okay. There is no us anywhere in the picture. Did that help answer that? No?
Well, I think I was trying to get at something else, but now I'm a little bit confused with what I was trying to get at. Yeah, the awareness. Like if that, like whose fault is it now? Like before.
When you're aware?
Like so before, I wasn't aware that I was making mistakes and I was doing things that were not for the greater good, right?
Right.
And then I woke up.
Yeah.
And then now I see, like, because I'll still have these thoughts, right? Because it's almost like it's in me.
Right.
But I choose to now, like with today, I'm choosing to still go.
Oh, I see.
Versus if I would have just gone with those thoughts, it would have been my fault if I didn't go. So
you didn't choose to go. You didn't
didn't?
choose to come here.
Okay.
You went against the thoughts.
Right,
You
right.
saw, And sin caused you to go against the thoughts.
Right.
That's what happened. You didn't have anything to do with that.
Okay.
But Satan told you you did, but you didn't. Now that you can see, you're going with seeing, with the light.
Mm-hmm.
When you can't see, you go with the darkness. You go with the thoughts.
Right.
But we have nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
God,
So it's not our fault either way.
No.
Okay.
That's right. Not either way and not yours.
Okay.
Isn't that like deep to know that? And it's true. I'm not making it up. When you can see, you're going to see and you do the right thing. But it's the seeing that caused you to do right. The Spirit of the Father.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then when you couldn't see, the spirit of evil made you do that stuff.
Okay.
So you were able to see and you came to the meeting.
Okay.
But the devil told you, you did that. You made that choice. And you're like, yeah.
Okay.
But there is no
Thank you.
us to do anything. We are the spirit of the Father or the spirit of Satan. Yes, ma'am.
Jesse, I get confused when we say, and you said it too, your sins are already forgiven, right?
Yeah.
Because Jesus came, took our sins, God sent his one son. That's a very comfortable thing to say for those who are knowingly doing something that they're not supposed to. Like, let's say an example, we know cheating, betrayal, robbing, stealing, killing for your own good is not right. But thinking that my sins are already forgiven, if I do this, then nothing is going to happen. It's already forgiven. And people continue doing it. Same thing for men, same thing for women. They seduce someone else they know they're not supposed to.
Right.
They know they're not supposed to give in to that because it's not the right thing to do. But then it's very comfortable to think, if my sins are already forgiven, then whatever, I'm going to do whatever makes me feel very good right now.
But a person who is truly awake not going to say that. Because once you wake up, you forgive, forgive your mother, forgive your father, you're going to wake up. And that little light that you're going to have, you're going to grow in that light if you stay in it. But you're also going to find yourself falling back into thought sometime, right? But you're going to know that it was not you. Oh my goodness, I went back into my imagination. And that's why I did that. I believed a lie again. You're not going to call it you anymore. You're going to see that it's something else and not you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to smoke on it for a minute?
It's hard to accept because
What?
it's hard to not accept, but fully understand because what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
But even in that situation, you did not decide anything that happened in that situation on your part. It wasn't your decision. You drank the poison.
But you hear so much blame from a person that you thought is like very up there consciously. You start taking the blame and you start blaming yourself, and the hell opens up that way.
But if someone is blaming you, it's only because they don't understand what's driving them and they don't see what's driving you. Because once you see what's driving you, you're going to have compassion on everyone because you're going to understand what's driving them. You'll be able to see it and you're protected from the world. They would know that it wasn't you. It really wasn't you. And it wasn't them. It was something else driving the boat, but they just can't see. And they'll say, you did this to me. You did that to me. You did this. You did that. Because they don't see what's driving you and they don't see what's driving themselves. They're going to blame you.
It's a very tough place to be when you think someone really knows what they're doing and they do what they do, but then they blame you. It's extremely tough place to be. You need, I don't know what kind of power to come back to zero to
You
see
need
that.
the light. You need to come out of the darkness. The moment you come to the light, everything becomes clear. Only in the darkness is never going to be clear. Only in the light. That's why this year's theme is to stay present. Stay out of the darkness. The greatest sin is to forget. Do not forget what you learned here, and do not forget to stay present. Really, that's the only, you'll be fine. And you're going to see there is no you. There is no you. Blind people really think that they exist. Blind people think they make decisions. Blind people think that they're to blame for these things. Blind people, because they can't see. They don't know that something else is driving them. That's why God said, bring every thought into captivity. Why do you think he told you bring them all into captivity? What do? You loose the thoughts. You live by them, you love them, you work overtime for them, when he said bring them all into captivities. They're your enemy, they're not his thoughts. And so for your situation, you should not be blaming them, and they should not be blaming you. But because both of you don't have clear understanding, both of you think it's their fault and your fault, but your hell is your hell, their hell is their hell, and hell blames somebody else for hell. Really do. It blames someone else. God is not blaming us. There's nothing you have done in your whole life that God is blaming you for. The world will blame you, and the world won't forget because they love to judge you. But God does not blame you at all. Your sins have been forgiven.
Jesse, can sins done knowingly, knowing when I walk out of here and do certain thing, is not right. It's just not right. It's not right in any how you look at it. Are those sins forgiven?
Repeat that again.
If I know this is not the right thing to do, if I know I should not be judging someone for their actions, how much ever bad the actions are, but I still do it.
Right.
While I'm doing, I know this is not the right thing. Are those sins forgiven?
Yes. Because that's not even you. What you have done, you've agreed with the devil, you love your hell. You and the devil one, and you're worshiping him, and you're excusing your behavior and all that kind of stuff. Let's say you know you're going to leave here, you're going to rob the bank down the road. And you're going to leave here, you say, I'm going to rob that bank. Mary Ann told me how to get in the bank, and I'm going to rob it. You don't know what you're doing. You believe what you're doing is fine. You believe it's going to work because you drink the water. But it's a setup. But you think you're going to get away with it because the devil tells you, don't worry, you're going to get away with it. Don't worry because of this. You're still communicating with the devil, and those thoughts are not yours. We are incapable of creating thoughts. You're still listening to the devil, and you think it's you. And then the devil says, you know you're wrong, but go on anyway. You know you're wrong, but blame this person anyway. The devil tells you know you're wrong, but you think you're telling you that you know you're wrong. You can't tell you know you're wrong. You don't know what right or wrong is.
But it's wrong to rob a bank.
What?
It's wrong to rob a bank.
Why?
You can't take someone else's money if you didn't work for it.
But why is that wrong?
That's stealing. You can't steal.
Why? No, let me clear this up. The point is, don't judge it as right or wrong, but look at what's making you do it. Don't call it good and don't call it evil. Don't call it right and don't call it wrong. Just look, be aware. And it's awareness to make it right. Because if you're aware, you're not going to rob a bank. You know you shouldn't be robbing a bank, right? But don't, and never say you're not going to rob a bank. Because you go right down there and rob that bank on the corner. Just know, you just don't have any opinion about anything. Don't say what you will or will not do. Just live. You don't need to have a conversation about what's right or what's wrong. You don't know what's right or wrong. You've been taught what's right or wrong. And the only reason you think that robbing a bank is wrong, because you've been taught that it's wrong. You don't know that for sure. You've been taught that. That's why we have to let all our teaching go and let the Spirit teach us. Let God renew our mind and the Spirit teach us, and then we'll have no opinion about anything. We will just live. That make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Let go. Let go. Listen. Let go. Stop reaching for the poison glass of thoughts. Every time you consult or reach for a thought about anything, except how to cook, how to build a house, practical things, right? You don't live by that. And God give you to know how to build a house and everything anyway. But stop reaching for the poison glass. Don't reach for thoughts and when they tempt you, don't go for it. Just see you're being tempted and see it, and that's all you do about it. Relax in it, watch it, but do nothing, all right? You can have a life. So this is your thing. Stay present, stay present. I want to encourage you, don't let the devil talk you out of attending these meetings. Don't let the devil talk you out of being present, because he is. You are not talking yourself out of that. You would never tell yourself that. Plus, you're not capable of telling yourself that. But the devil tell you, you made that decision. You think, oh, I made that decision. No, you didn't. All right, there's no you. So stay with the silent prayer. Forgive your mothers and your fathers. And don't judge yourself. There's no judge, no one there to judge. The only thing you should be ashamed about is living in the darkness. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's the only shame you should be ashamed about. Living in the darkness. Living unconsciously. All right? So stay with the prayer, watch the thought, forgive, and forget about the world. You cannot save the world. Let all your intellectual teaching go. All your rights and wrongs and your morals and your values and looking for love and thinking you know what you want, forget about it. Forget about it. Don't judge. You'll be fine. You're going to have an amazing life. And it will get easy after a while. And don't even worry about how long it's going to take. This is hard. It's Satan telling you that. All right? Yes, sir. Amazing. Stay with it, folks. Stay with it this year. Make your mind up to stay with it. Ain't nothing like a made-up mind. All right? Stay with it. I don't care how many times you go into darkness. Just come back out. Don't stop. Just realize you're in your mind, but don't stop. All right? And don't judge yourself or anyone. There's no you to judge, to be honest. All right? Amazing fellowship today. I absolutely appreciate it. Any announcement, Nick? No announcement. What? We had it last week. And it was amazing. Right. It was amazing. So the latest form was last Thursday. It was deep. I knew it would be, and it was. All right, folks, stay with it, stay with it. And listen, in closing, God is not judging you about anything you have done in the last 100 years. Really. It's not God judging you. Satan made you do it, and he judged you. Because God knows it's not you. It's something else up here, you believe it. All right? So thank you for your support and everything. We'll do the super chats tomorrow, Monday, and bye. Amazing.